From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good morning and happy Friday. We're still tracking the flooding threat out there. We'll track that through early on Monday morning. And for next week, maybe a big time snow event for our Cascade passes. But for now, we're going to hone in on the flood threat. It runs through early on Monday morning. So we'll go ahead and we'll take you on that river tour once again. The Yakima River at Easton. Now we're just expecting minor flood stage. This goes until 10 this morning, flooding of yards and low-lying areas in the Elk Meadows subdivision. And we do still have that closure for Washington 906 to the south, Snoqualmie Pass for Yellowstone Trail to Hayek Drive east, as there is water over the roadway. Now for the Yakima River at Tandem, at this point, just expecting the minor flooding stage. This also runs until 10 a.m. for this morning. Minor flooding in areas along the river from Tenaway to Ellensburg, including Irene Reinhardt Park in Ellensburg. Then we have the Natchez River near Natchez. I think the worst is behind us. Still some minor flooding ahead of us. This runs until 10 p.m. for tonight. There will be additional minor flooding near Natchez, Eschbach Park, Painted Rock in the north end of Yakima. And we still have those level 2B set evacuations in place for areas within 200 feet on either side of the Natchez River, starting at the Little Natchez River and extending east to South Natchez Road in Natchez. So in this area, got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. And also because of this, US 12 still closed at milepost 190, obviously due to the flooding. Then we have the Yakima River near Parker, still in the thick of things here. We're expecting moderate flooding. This will continue until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. There will be flooding of farmland and county roads. Some homes and farm buildings will be flooded, and there will be significant riverbank and topsoil erosion. We've already seen a little bit of this as there are still level 2B set evacuations in place for the Yakima River corridor from Sundown M Ranch to the Gap of Sela, including all land and properties within a 60-foot radius of the river. So here, got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice as well. And this is a new closure that we saw yesterday. Washington 22, both directions, milepost 1 to 2 between Buena and Toppenish, as there is water over the roadway. Then we have the Yakima River near Kiona. A lot of vested interest in this one. We're still going with moderate flooding until 4 a.m. on Monday. There will be moderate flooding of farmland, roads, and some residential areas, especially in the West Richland area. So Prosser, Benton City, Kiona, and of course, West Richland. I would pay very close attention to this. You can sign up for emergency alerts in Benton County by going to mil.wa.gov/alerts, pound local, find your county, and sign up. I'll have a lot more to say about the flooding and your out the door weather on this Friday morning. All that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest. You just heard more rain, more flooding, and now a growing plea for federal support. Governor Ferguson pushing for federal help as floods force evacuations across the state. Coming up, we're going to break down where emergency response stands this morning.
And all this as people in Benton City are dealing with the consequences of the rising Yakima River. Our crews were there speaking to those affected, and we have more on the emotional push to protect homes.
And as flooding worsens statewide, the Red Cross is preparing to open shelters closer to home. 7 shelters open and more could be coming to the Tri-Cities. We're going to hear from the Red Cross as they tell us what they're ready for when it comes to the latest on these flooding conditions. We have it all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Friday, December 12th. We have made it to the end of the week, and what a week it has been.
Lots of active weather,
yes,
flooding, high winds. Josh is going to talk more about that later on in the show, but we want to start off by looking more at those devastating floodwaters that continue to rise this morning.
Yeah, right now about 100,000 people are being asked to leave their homes in Washington as some rivers reach historic levels. Several rescues have been taking place over the last couple of days across the state. Volunteers in communities are working to fill sandbags and shore up older dike systems along the rivers. Floodwaters have overtaken some homes and businesses in places like King, Pierce, and Skagit counties.
There's also been major flooding on at least 8 rivers and creeks throughout the state. In Skagit County, the entire 100-year floodplain is now ordered to evacuate. The Snohomish River rose to more than 33.5 feet, setting a possible new record high.
You saw from that video National Guard stepping up, filling those sandbags. Governor Ferguson activating them, sending troops to communities all across the state of Washington. They're working to get people out of those evacuation zones. They're stacking sandbags, filling them, and helping out people at community shelters as well.
And also here closer to home, people are feeling that same urgency this morning.
Yeah, in Benton City, families living just feet from the Yakima River are racing against the clock as water levels keep rising. Our crews were there yesterday as neighbors worked to protect their homes. Apple Valley News Now's Austin Reed takes us to the scene.
Here at this location in Benton City, the clock is ticking. With the Yakima River rising by the hour, residents who live just feet from the water are doing everything they can to protect their homes.
I lived here for about 2 years now, and I've never had to deal with it.
The mad rush started Thursday morning.
Hello.
Alongside the pets, people were filling and stacking sandbags, moving furniture, and clearing out anything that could be swept away if the water breaches the banks.
The city workers told me the river rose up 3 feet within 45 minutes.
Earlier in the day, I met this homeowner, and during a live report on the Apple Valley News Now Facebook page, the emotions ran high.
I had my neighbor who I helped us, he's moving completely off the property. He just had a heart attack in May, and he was out there by himself. And I walked over to him and I said, "Can I help you?" And he literally started to cry. And he said, "Thank you." And I said, "I'm out here until I can't physically be out here anymore."
Recent rain and snow melt are pushing the Yakima River close to flood stage. Emergency managers say this weekend could be critical, especially for homes that sit just yards from the water line.
Stress, and more stress.
Do you think the dogs can kind of sense the energy?
Oh God, yes. They sense me.
For so many here at Beach RV Park, it's now just a wait-and-see situation, hoping that the work they have done and the river levels hold through the weekend.
If the water gets up here, I'll just put on some boots and start swimming.
Now, as all of this unfolds, the Kennewick chapter of the American Red Cross, they are ramping up preparation efforts as flooding concerns grow across a lot of parts of Washington.
And Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with Red Cross officials about how they're preparing and how they see the situation developing.
An atmospheric river has hit Washington state hard, bringing heavy rain, warm temperatures, and rapid snowmelt, all contributing to flooding across the region. The American Red Cross has 7 shelters open in western Washington, stretching along the I-5 corridor in places like Randall and Chehalis. Officials estimate as many as 100,000 people statewide could be asked to evacuate. And with rising water levels along the Yakima River, the Red Cross Kennewick chapter has been placed on notice to prepare for possible shelter operations closer to home.
Red Cross officials tell me that right now there are several Red Cross shelters set up throughout Washington state, primarily in western Washington. However, they tell me that they are ready to respond at a moment's notice and to set up shelters in places like Walla Walla and even here locally.
Historically, we've used the Walla Walla Fairgrounds. Benton City probably used one of the school classrooms or a church there. Same with West Richland or a community center, that kind of thing. So we've got agreements in place.
OPIT says the Kennewick chapter is already staging equipment and coordinating with county emergency management agencies to make sure shelters can open quickly if needed.
So we've got 3 trailers that we can pull to a location. 2 of them right now are set up for establishing 100-person shelters. So there's enough cots and blankets and the supplies that are going to be needed for up to 100 people.
Once people arrive, OPIT says the Red Cross is prepared to help with immediate needs beyond just shelter.
If they need medicine or eyeglasses or something because they had to abandon pretty quickly, we have health services staff that can help get those things, and then we'll provide a cot and blankets.
The Red Cross also provides comfort kits and toiletries and essentials, along with meals and charging stations. But OPIT says that flood-related shelter operations are usually short-term.
Typically, these kinds of things aren't long-lasting, which is a good thing. It's not like a tornado that's torn your house down and you might have to be in a shelter for weeks at a time.
Still, officials say anyone living in flood-prone areas should be ready to leave if conditions change.
Anybody that's in a floodplain should have what we call a go kit. And that's something that if they get a notice that, watch out is typically the first thing that means you should prepare. If you get a warning, that means you probably ought to leave.
The American Red Cross is ready to help and give shelter to those in crisis wherever needed. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And as our crews work around the clock to track the latest developments, details are ever changing, and we want to make sure that you are up to date on the latest information.
Yeah, so here is something for you to bookmark on your devices. Our digital team here at Apple Valley News Now is keeping an online flood blog. You can see the latest information at the top of the article, and you can scroll through, see what updates there are, and they keep you updated all throughout the day.
We have the latest information on evacuation zones, what's happening throughout our region, what's happening throughout the state, and it's all timestamped so that you know when the latest update has come in.
Yeah, so be sure to download our news and weather apps so that you can have that information right at your fingertips. You can find it on your desktop at applevalleynewsnow.com.
And keep it here, because coming up next, Philip Grubauer, the Kraken's first shutout goaltender, is battling injuries, pressure, and also big moments. We'll take a look at how he's now keeping Seattle in the fight. Your Kraken player profile is coming up when we talk sports right after the break.
And giving you a live look outside this morning, this one from our Central Washington outdoor camera at the rodeo grounds in Ellensburg. Looks like there's some fog settling into the area. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to break down what you can expect as you head out the door this morning, not only from the fog, but to the floods as well.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Because when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly. Go on. Bundle and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store today. Idaho and instant potatoes are 5 for $5. Seattle's best ground coffee is just $5.99. Bi-Mart's ultra strength dishwashing liquid is $6.99. Plus save in the bonus zone. Sterilite 64-quart latching boxes are just $6.99. Duraflame 6-count fire logs are $14.99. Save more now on everyday essentials, Christmas treats, and gifts through December 15th, only at Bi-Mart.
So you only check it twice?
Well, yes.
Huh. Nissan tests every model thousands of times. We even test them for severe Arctic weather. No wonder Nissan is J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality. Hold on to that hat, Santa.
Add a Nissan to your list at the Nissan year-end event. Now get 0% APR for 60 months when financed through NMAC, or get up to $5,000 customer cash on select new models.
Want your home or business to remain clean? Here to meet all your janitorial needs, R&S Janitorial Services. They have serviced the Valley for over 20 years, specialized in cleaning all offices and businesses to warehouses, commercial buildings, and more. R&S keeps the inside of your business or workplace clean and professional at all times. You keep doing what you do best and let R&S do the rest. Call R&S Janitorial Services at 509-840-7100 today.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we're as committed to protecting your dreams as you are to taking care of them.
Looking good.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Tonight.
It's beautiful.
Now, inside the mind of the man behind the magic.
My current attitude is we can do anything.
And what happens when Miley Cyrus joins the world of Avatar?
It's such a phenomenon.
Avatar, a new era. Tonight on ABC.
Kraken, Mammoths. Coverage begins at 6 tonight on My Network TV. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Like you just saw a couple minutes back with that Ellensburg camera, The fog is getting pretty thick this morning in the valley, and we're seeing that all throughout Kittitas County, even some patchy fog in the lower Columbia Basin. We could see some fog coming back for tonight into tomorrow morning as well. We've kind of had to triage this for now, but just know if you run into the fog, of course, take it slow, use the low beams. All right, temperatures this morning not as warm as they were for yesterday morning, but still feeling all right out there. 41 for the Tri-Cities. It's feeling really all right in Walla Walla, 51 there, and then 39 degrees in Yakima. Here's your hourly forecast for this Friday for the Tri-Cities. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. High temperature is going to end up near 60. It's going to end up being a pretty nice day. So let's take you on that zone-by-zone tour of this Friday forecast. We start off in Kittitas County, where we're going to be in the 40s and 50s. More sunshine the further down in elevation you work. And then in the Yakima Valley, mid-50s up and down the valley. Looks like it's going to be a mostly cloudy day. A little bit breezy in the lower Columbia Basin. Also mostly cloudy, although I think into the afternoon more sunshine than clouds. Then for the foothills, low 60s, even some upper 50s in Walla Walla, partly cloudy, and then a little bit foggy today. Foggy to overcast for the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains. High temperature is going to continue to stay in the 50s for the Tri-Cities over the next 7 days. The coolest day in the forecast next Thursday, but even that is about 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Okay, but the big story continues to be the flooding. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about a big-time snow event that's lining up for the Cascades for next week. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
5:16 on this Friday, and time to talk some sports as the Seattle Kraken have built their team around some high-profile signings.
And one of their biggest stars is veteran goaltender Philip Grubauer. Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable has more on how he's been a pillar of the team's defense since joining the franchise back in 2021.
The Kraken Player Profile, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Philip Grubauer was selected by the Kraken in the 2021 expansion draft, making him one of the franchise originals. He arrived in Seattle on a significant 6-year, $35.4 million contract, following a season where he was a Vezina Trophy finalist with the Colorado Avalanche. Grubauer has been a crucial piece of the Kraken story. He holds the distinction of being the first Seattle Kraken goaltender to record a shutout and was instrumental in the team clinching their first ever playoff berth in April 2023. During that inaugural playoff run, Grubauer played a key role in the team's first round upset of his former team, the Avalanche. His recent performances showcase his determination, keeping the Kraken in tight games with highlight reel saves.
So you always got to be ready. There's only 2 goalies, so no, the preparation doesn't change. So always got to be ready.
Grubauer's career is marked by resilience. Despite some recent struggles, the veteran has shown quick reflexes and strong leadership, which earned him the Kraken Player of the Week honor. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
Grubauer continues to anchor the Kraken's net,
which further proves his value with every game-saving stop. And keep it here, because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh Colbreth is back with how your weather is looking for the weekend. It's all coming up in that full First Alert weather forecast in just a few minutes.
Merry Christmas.
From Griggs and Ace. Our family has been a part of this community since 1939.
Working and living in this area for over 86 years.
We've had the pleasure of serving and working with thousands of you over the years.
And most of all, we have been fortunate to serve you. So thank you. Thank you to our employees, past and present.
Thank you for choosing to shop with us for 86 years. We want to wish you all a blessed holiday season. And from the Grigg family, Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar in Kennewick, where every visit feels like a celebration of flavor, friendship, and Northwest hospitality.
As the executive chef, I actually get to work out front a lot, so I'm delivering food to the guests and I'm able to talk to them. And I personally enjoy working our grill and doing the steaks like our ribeyes and our fillets and really great cuts of meat. It's just nice to be able to create something and then see the customer, try it and really enjoy it.
When I see new faces that I haven't seen before, I like going over and talking to them, making sure they have a good time.
Kitchen staff here has me so spoiled. It's hard for me to go out to eat anywhere else because they are fast and efficient, and I think the presentation is beautiful. I think that we have servers that really care about their job. I can see how much they care about their tables and their customers and making sure that everybody leaves happy.
The time you're here spent with us, we're going to make you laugh, have a great time, and make you part of the family. A popular drink for sure is going to be the lemon drop, which comes in different flavors, such as huckleberry, strawberry, raspberry, or a classic. But my job in particular is to make sure guests are happy and smile.
From handcrafted cocktails to chef-inspired dishes, every detail at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar is designed for one thing, making you feel right at home. Join us at Columbia Center Mall in Kennewick, where every day is a celebration of great food, great drinks, and great company.
Before the guests arrive, it's all about the details. Making everything just right, creating the perfect vibe, and setting the mood. Every detail matters. Then, take a moment to enjoy it all. Just you and your best friend. Order by December 18 for delivery before the celebrations begin, and enjoy interest-free financing with the More Furniture credit card. Visit a More Furniture store near you or shop now at morefurniture.com.
Happy holidays from Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to talk about the flooding. First Alert Weather days ahead. Here's a comprehensive look at our flooding forecast. You can see the situation has greatly improved in Kittitas and Yakima counties, at least compared to a couple days back. But we still have some drama to go for the Yakima River at Parker, and then for the Yakima River at Kiona. So that would include both Yakima and Benton County. So let's take a closer look at the Yakima River at Kiona. It's already in a minor flood stage, and we're expecting this thing to get up into the moderate flood stage, cresting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and getting close-ish to that major flood stage. So we'll see how that ends up panning out. But again, in West Richland, in Prosser, in Benton City, in Kiona, obviously, in those areas, got to pay very close attention to the forecast. And you should be signed up for those emergency alerts that we talked about at the top of the show. Okay, the weather in terms of like weather coming from the sky, it's actually going to be pretty nice and dry through Sunday, but then we have some more active weather to go for next week. So that is because of this series of storm systems way off in the Pacific. Right here, these are the Hawaiian Islands. So this is what's going to end up impacting us in the Pacific Northwest into next week. Another atmospheric river. This looks like another very wet stretch of storm systems, maybe another 6 to 8 inches of liquid water for the Cascades. So you might be asking yourself, does that mean more river flooding? Probably not, because there's going to be much more snow this time. Models are coming in real hot with this one. 4 p.m. on Monday to 4 a.m. next Friday, maybe 2 feet of snow for our Cascade passes. And it doesn't look like we'll have nearly as much for our Blue Mountain passes. But this is bad news for travel. It's good news to curb the river flooding potential. And it is really good news in that we need the snowpack. It's lacking right now, and that'll certainly do us a big favor. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, continuing to track the flooding potential along the Yakima in Kiona, Benton City, Prosser, and West Richland. In Yakima, still seeing those level 2 beset evacuations for Sela and Natchez. In Ellensburg, floodwaters receding. We should mostly be in the clear by this weekend. In Hermiston, a drier stretch through Sunday. Then the action picks back up on Monday. And finally, for Walla Walla, nice weather over the next few days. Then wet weather returns for next week.
Thanks, Josh. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, Hollywood drama on and off the screen, and a big-name director accused of misusing millions in Netflix money, and a verdict is in. Plus, could Katniss and Peeta really be making a return to the Hunger Games universe? But we're learning about the new prequel that's already sparking buzz. It's all coming up next in your entertainment headlines after the break.
Don't forget, we give free evaluations and second opinions on injury cases. You might just have some questions. Give us a call and we'll tell you what to bring in.
Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
Reach out to Neurostim TMS today and rediscover the light and joy in your life.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
We're forging the future of the city of Pasco, and we need your voice. The city is updating our comprehensive plan, which covers everything from housing and transportation to utilities and parks. This document showcases the vision of what we want Pasco to be in 2046 and beyond. Tell us about the type of businesses you'd like to see, the types of parks you'd like to visit, and the type of neighborhood you want to live in. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit pasco-wa.gov/comp plan and become part of the future.
Looking for Santa Claus? He's right here with us at Queensgate Gardens. Visit us today for your best selection of Christmas trees and wreaths for this season's holiday cheer. Bring your family and find the perfect tree. Customize your own wreath and pick out fresh, colorful poinsettias. Visit us at Queensgate Gardens today.
You're invited to our Christmas light show.
Don't forget, we give free evaluations and second opinions on injury cases. You might just have some questions. Give us a call and we'll tell you what to bring in.
Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
A festive flight on Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, film director Carl Rinsch has been convicted of defrauding Netflix of $11 million. So Rinsch was charged with wire fraud, money laundering, and making illegal transactions. Prosecutors say he misused production funds for the never-finished series White Horse.
They argued he hid his motives for obtaining the money and went on a lavish spending spree. He testified that the purchases were legitimate and tied to season 2 planning.
However, Netflix said it had not ordered a second season, and the first was far from complete. His sentencing is set for April.
And staying in Hollywood, some familiar faces may soon be returning to the Hunger Games prequel. Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are reportedly planning to reprise their roles as Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark in the upcoming film called Sunrise on the Reaping.
So this movie is based on Susan Collins' novel, which details the events of the 50th Hunger Games, which is 24 years before Katniss and Peeta made their first appearance in the killing field.
Although Lionsgate is rather tight-lipped about Lawrence and Hutcherson's cameos, the book has these characters present in some sort of flash forward. Sunrise on the Reaping is expected to hit big screens in November.
Exciting news.
Yeah.
And in the music world, Taylor Swift's album, The Life of a Showgirl, is #1 on the 2025 year-end Billboard Top 200 Albums chart. And that's the 5th year that Swift took the top spot. And she's the only artist to dominate the year-end chart more than 3 times.
Even more remarkable, Showgirl had only 1 week of eligibility. The album debuted at #1 on the week of October 18th with a record 4 million units sold.
Another Swift album made the 2025 list. The Tortured Poets Department is at #6. It was also the top album of 2024.
She just continues to break records.
She really does.
It's insane.
Just pouring them out. All right.
Love to see it.
So much for ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The CEO of Ben Franklin Transit facing some sharp accusations from his own employees, and a newly uncovered email isn't helping his case. Coming up, what employees say is happening inside that building.
Plus, a growing warning for parents as dangerous knockoff car seats are now showing up right here in the Tri-Cities. We'll break down what you need to be on the lookout for. That's coming up in your next half hour, but first, your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the most prestigious awards for video games. The big winner is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which won Game of the Year and 9 other game awards last night. The French-developed role-playing game has players take on a supernatural being. Fortnite is back on the Google Play Store and on Android devices following a 5-year legal battle. Fortnite was removed from the platform after Epic Games introduced a direct payment system that bypassed Google's billing. Epic prevailed last month after winning a similar court fight against Apple. And finally, OpenAI is planning to roll out ChatGPT's adult mode in the next few months. The company says it first wants to improve its age verification tools to block access to minors. Adult mode is expected to restore some personality traits that were toned down in previous updates. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I unlatched Bevo's gate while taking a selfie.
Bevo, no! Come back!
Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking Bevo's gate, though, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Hook 'em.
Meet my dad. National University supports all his ends with flexible online courses. He can be a student and teach me how to hit a curveball. He's an ender. National University supporting all your ends.
Why does Special K have 10 grams of protein? Yep, that's why. Special K. Special for a reason.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Friday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
A lot going on out there.
So much. What's the update?
Yeah, so flooding over the next few days, and then maybe a big snowstorm for next week. So
is that all?
Switching from one mode right to the next.
Got some good job security this week.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those big weather stories. Of course, the flooding, and then the weather in terms of like the weather up in the skies over the next few days is actually going to be kind of ho-hum. But then into next week, looks like we got a bunch of snow for the Cascades. But for now, we're going to focus in on the flooding. Still expecting some through 4 a.m. on Monday. So starting to see some big time improvement along the Yakima and Natchez up to Natchez, but down towards Parker and Kiona. Still expecting us eventually to get into that moderate flood stage. Already at the moderate flood stage at Parker and Kiona. We're just at the minor flood stage right now. But anyway, you see for the Yakima River at Kiona, this would last until 4 a.m. on Monday. So Benton City, Prosser, West Richland, Kiona, areas like that, I would have vested interest in this forecast. All right, level 2B set evacuation still in place for the Natchez River and also in place for the Yakima River. You can read more about these online at applevalleyNewsNow.com. But if we have additional evacuations, especially in Benton County, you can get alerted about that by going to this URL right here, mil.wa.gov/alerts, pound local, find your county, and sign up. I'll have more on your out the door weather for this Friday morning coming up in a few minutes.
And at 5:32, we begin this half hour of news with some details coming in this morning. Ben Franklin Transit's Chief Executive Officer, Thomas Drotz, coming under fire by employees of the transit system at its board meeting just last night. Members of the transit board were also accused of looking the other way when it came to these complaints. Now, Apple Valley News Now obtained an email written by BFT's Chief Financial Officer, Alex Smith, shortly after his resignation at the end of October. In this email, Smith says that his resignation was partially due to Drotz's questionable financial decisions, including accusing the CEO of awarding certain contracts to friends and family, including paying a member of his family nearly $5,000 for leadership training Smith says he can't prove took place. Employees and former employees say the BFT work environment is toxic and they're afraid of retaliation and ultimately afraid of losing their jobs if they haven't been fired already. They say that all of this mess is coming from the top.
The managers who run fixed route operations are discipline heavy, fact-finding heavy, It seems like all they want to do is discipline people constantly. They're extremely rude people. They violate the contract. We have probably, no exaggeration, dozens of grievances filed against them, many going to arbitration. We just filed 7 unfair labor practice charges against them today for illegal activity. They're just out of control.
Be sure to stay with Apple Valley News Now, as we will have an in-depth report on these allegations and hear more from the union representing the employees at BFT as well.
Now to an alert for local consumers. A growing number of parents are unknowingly buying car seats and stroller combinations online that don't meet normal safety standards, and local pediatric experts say the items could put newborns at serious risk. Parents across the Tri-Cities are unknowingly purchasing dangerous car seats from online discount retailers like TikTok Shop and Temu. These counterfeit seats fail to meet federal safety standards and can put newborns at serious risk. Experts are reporting a surge in these unsafe products.
This is something actually we've noticed a trend throughout the United States, but here in the Tri-Cities it's been hitting us hard 4 times even in just the last 2 weeks.
Federal law requires all legal car seats to pass rigorous crash testing, side impact testing, and meet strict standards for buckle strength and flammability. Counterfeit seats bypass these requirements, arriving without certification labels, proper instructions, or reliable construction.
5:35 in the city of Kennewick opened the Tri-Cities' first pump track for bikers with a ribbon cutting ceremony. The track's located at Vancouver Park on the corner of South Vancouver and West 7th Avenue. It features a continuous circuit of rolling paths and banked turns designed for riding without pedaling. The park's free to taxpayers and was funded by a federal community development block grant worth slightly over $400,000.
And so Cougar Tracks is the community connection for how we are going to bridge the gap for community members to how we are using AI, but also help those individuals figure out the best use of AI.
Looks like we may have a little mishap on the name and the sound there. So the park is now open for use, and artificial turf's going to be installed on the non-rideable inside sections of the track come spring of 2026.
5:36 and in education news now. Washington State University Tri-Cities Cougar Tracks will offer more workshops this coming year. It's aimed at professional development and workforce training. The program is developing a packed 2026 schedule that includes hands-on sensory workshops for winery, hospitality, and tourism professionals, along with the manager coaching series that's focused on leadership development. The coaching program begins in February and it's open for enrollment now. Organizers say the new workshops are based on feedback from local businesses about professional development needs. Cougar Tracks is also planning an AI literacy series for next spring, and it builds on interest from recent AI workshops focusing on practical and ethical workplace use. And organizers say the goal is to give local professional skills that they can use right away.
That was the sound that we heard just moments ago from WSU. And we do have that full story up on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Make sure you check it out, but keep it here because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the holidays are here and so are the big events, from family-friendly festivities to Santa sightings and a full Winterfest celebration. We're counting down to what's happening this weekend. It's all coming up right after the break.
Kraken, Mammoths. Coverage begins at 6 tonight on My Network TV.
Tonight.
It's beautiful.
Now, inside the mind of the man behind the magic.
My current attitude is we can do anything.
And what happens when Miley Cyrus joins the world of Avatar?
It's such a phenomenon.
Avatar, a new era. Tonight on ABC.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Not sure what to wrap this Christmas? Try wrapping a full day of fun. For just $30, give them the thrill of one day of unlimited carnival rides and an admission ticket to the 2026 Benton Franklin Fair, August 25th to 29th. Choose a youth package with a cuddly stuffed animal or an adult package tucked in a festive stocking. It's a deal too good to last. Find them now through Christmas Eve at Ranch and Home in Kennewick and Pasco. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. The 2026 Benton Franklin Fair. Give them a day they'll never forget.
Christmas is fast approaching, and Honey Baked Ham has exactly what your family gathering needs. Pick up one of our famous fully cooked spiral hams dripping with our delicious glaze. And don't worry, we also have whole turkeys and whole turkey breasts. Don't forget, Honey Baked Ham makes a perfect holiday gift. Complete your feast with our incredible sides and delicious desserts. So many choices! Honey Baked Ham on Columbia Center Boulevard, or call us at 509-579-5855. Put Honey Baked Ham on your table this year.
Experience the magic at Country Mercantile's Holly Jolly Fest this December at our Richland location. Every Saturday and Sunday, December 6th through 21st, starting at 12 p.m. Bring the whole family for Letters to Santa, live music, cookie decorating, and pictures with Santa. Free hot cocoa and train rides every weekend. Explore our gift shop for unique finds, from artisan chocolates to gourmet goodies, perfect for the season. Make your holidays holly and jolly at Country Mercantile's Fest.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
Tonight.
It's beautiful.
Now, inside the mind of the man behind the magic.
My current attitude is we can do anything.
And what happens when Miley Cyrus joins the world of Avatar?
It's such a phenomenon.
Avatar, a new era. Tonight on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have a little bit of fog out there for this morning in the Kittitas Valley. So, of course, you want to take it slow on the roadways. You want to use the low beams in those areas. It looks like some of that is trying to extend down into the lower Columbia Basin, but we've had to sort of triage the fog as we have bigger fish to fry. But, of course, we are keeping a very close eye on that. Temperatures not as warm as they were for yesterday morning, but we're still seeing some 50s out there. 51 degrees for Walla Walla, 39 for the Tri-Cities, 39 degrees in Yakima. So you'll likely need some sort of jacket this morning as you're headed out the front door. Okay, here is your hourly forecast for this Friday for the Tri-Cities. Seeing mostly sunny skies as we head into the afternoon. High temperatures getting up around 60, which is still going to be about, I'd say 15 to 20 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Okay, so let's go ahead and take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. We're going to have 40s and 50s. More clouds the further up the mountains you work. And then in the Yakima Valley, we'll have mid-50s up and down the valley. Mostly cloudy skies. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, I'm thinking overall, if you average up all the cloud coverage we'd have all throughout the day, mostly cloudy, but I think there will be some breaks of mostly sunny skies, especially into the afternoon. For the Blue Foothills, low 60s, maybe some upper 50s in Walla Walla, partly cloudy, and then a little bit more in the way of clouds and fog for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Okay, your 7-day forecast for the Yakima Valley, at least in terms of high temperatures. Looks like the coolest day is going to be next week, 44 degrees, starting to get back closer to that average high temperature line.
I'm not mad about 56.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to the average.
No, let's be above average. All right, we want to talk about some weekend events around the community. If you're still trying to fill out that holiday calendar, you're in luck.
That's right. This weekend is packed with family fun and all sorts of seasonal traditions across the Tri-Cities.
Let's get straight into the holiday events roundup, starting off with a holiday tradition that just keeps growing. The Angel Brook Farm Christmas Tree Jubilee is back at the Benton Franklin Fairgrounds.
And they've got one of the largest selections of fresh-cut P&W trees, plus workshops, treats, games, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus all season long.
It runs every day through December 23rd, so there's still plenty of time to get into the holiday spirit out there.
And if you're looking for a little extra holiday magic, Christmas with Buddy is coming to the Giza Carousel of Dreams.
Admission includes a free carousel ride, plus a chance to meet Santa. I know him. Buddy the Elf. He's always bringing the holiday cheer. Of course, there's hot cocoa, there's treats, local vendors, and they'll all be highlighted that night.
It's a great way to get into the spirit because, as Buddy says, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Christmas with Buddy happens December 13th from 6 to 8 p.m.
And over in Pasco, Winterfest is taking over Peanuts Park this Saturday.
Yeah, live entertainment, kids games, food trucks, and of course, Santa and Mrs. Claus. They are busy this time of year, you guys.
So busy. Oh my goodness.
So busy making their rounds.
Plus, the grand prize drawing for the candy cane scavenger hunt leads right into the tree lighting around 5 o'clock. Festivities kick off at 3 at Peanuts Park.
So many exciting things.
So much fun.
Love it.
I know. I think we're going to do something fun and festive
Any
this
idea?
Weekend.
Which one?
I don't know.
All of them?
All of the above.
Be busy like Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Yeah.
I'm going to just stay busy like Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
There you go.
Christmas lights. But Genevieve is on Santa strike. She
Oh yes, we need to share those pictures.
go
Actually, those are so funny. She's crying in every single one, and she just doesn't care to care for Santa.
No.
Just scared of
But
Santa.
She's
I think she just doesn't like him. She loves the Grinch, though, right?
She loves the Grinch.
Hilarious.
And she loves our elf. But Santa, I said, don't you want to tell him what you want, right, in the Christmas lore? And she goes,
she's like, I get everything I want. What are you talking about?
She goes, Buddy already took my list to him.
Someone's getting coal in their stocking.
So there's that. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Your morning's for everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And of course, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth as we give you that live look outside from right here at our Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Kind of a mild start to our morning around here, but not a mild forecast. He's going to break it all down from the temperatures to the flooding to even some evacuation orders still in place. We've got it all coming up after the break.
Christmas is coming to Pasco. Join us Saturday, December 13th as Peanuts Park transforms into a winter wonderland for Winterfest from 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy holiday music, crafts, kids games, tasty treats, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Before 5, we'll draw the scavenger hunt grand prize winner. Then gather as we light Pasco's heritage Christmas tree to kick off the season. Winterfest, December 13th at Peanuts Park, presented by the City of Pasco.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
At Legends Casino Hotel, we believe the perfect meal begins long before it reaches the table. That's why we partner exclusively with Royal Ranch, a family farm right here in Washington. From Royal Ranch to Legends, every cut of beef we serve begins on land cared for by people who believe in feeding their community responsibly. These cattle are pasture-raised, nourished through a regenerative loop that gives back to the soil and sustains the planet. For us, it's more than food. It's tradition, it's respect for the land, and pride in the people who make it possible. Treat yourself to all-natural pasture-raised, flame-broiled steaks, or melt in your mouth succulent prime rib. Try one of our towering burger creations, the legendary Mount Hood and Mount Adams. Stacked high with all your favorite fixing to satisfy the heartiest appetites and deliver a flavor experience that's bold, memorable, and unmistakably Northwest. From the first sizzle to the last bite, every dish tells a story. Taste the trust. Taste the tradition. Taste Royal Ranch beef, proudly crafted and executed by our culinary trained professionals at Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish, Washington. Always local, always better, always legendary.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
Stacy Lee. First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Continuing to track that threat for flooding through 4 a.m. on Monday. So again, we're thinking that the floodwaters should recede for a lot of Kittitas and Yakima counties by today, but on down the line, the Yakima River at Parker, the Yakima River at Kiona, we still got more time to go, especially for Benton County. So West Richland, Benton City, Prosser, Kiona, in those areas, I'd have vested interest in this forecast, as the Yakima River at Kiona is already at minor flood stage, and it's going to get into that moderate flood stage a little bit later today, cresting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So again, we'll watch that very closely. Now the weather, in terms of like weather actually happening up in the sky, it's going to be pretty nice through Sunday, but then we start to ramp up the action again into next week. Here is why. We have many storm systems lined up in the Pacific. So this is actually to the north of the Hawaiian Islands right now. This system, eventually, it's going to take a little while, but eventually this will get to the Pacific Northwest, and this will bring us some impacts. So first of all, let's look at the liquid water we're expecting from that storm system for next week. This would be 4 a.m. on Sunday to 4 in the morning next Friday. 6 to 8 inches of liquid water for the Cascades again. So you might be asking yourselves, well, does this mean river flooding again? Probably not. Again, we'll monitor that aspect of the forecast very closely. But the reason why I say probably not is it looks like this is more so going to be a snow event, and a big time snow event at that. 4 p.m. on Monday to 4 a.m. next Friday, maybe 2 feet of snow for a Cascade passes. So if this verifies, we'll definitely see chain requirements, pass closures, the whole shebang. And this is sort of in the lead up to some more holiday travel. So of course, we'll watch this very closely, but I think it's a net positive. This is probably going to curb the river flooding potential, and also it's going to be good for the snowpack, which is lacking right now. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, continuing to track the flooding potential along the Yakima and Kiona, Benton City, Prosser, and West Richland. In Yakima, still seeing those level 2 beset evacuations for Sela and Natchez. In Ellensburg, floodwaters receding. We should mostly be in the clear by this weekend. Then for Hermiston, a drier stretch through Sunday. Then the action picks back up Monday. And finally, for Walla Walla, nice weather over the next few days. Then wet weather returns for next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:51, time for your morning sprint, and we start with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning as we continue to talk about this flood watch. Washington is remaining under a statewide emergency declaration as relentless rain and flooding continue. At a news conference just yesterday, we heard from Governor Bob Ferguson, and he has confirmed that he is in active talks with FEMA, hoping to secure federal support. More than 30 highways are closed as water continues to rise in multiple counties across the state. Members of Washington's congressional delegation, including Senators Murray and Cantwell, have sent a letter urging the president to quickly approve the requests. Officials say conditions remain unpredictable. Residents in evacuation zones are told to follow orders and to stay alert. So far, no word from the White House on whether the request will be granted.
In Benton City, residents living just feet from the Yakima River are scrambling to protect their homes as water levels rise hour by hour. Our crews were there yesterday as people stacked sandbags, moved furniture, and cleared yards of anything that could be swept away. City workers say the river rose 3 feet in just 45 minutes. With rain and snowmelt pushing levels towards flood stage, emergency officials are warning this weekend could be critical for anyone living near the water line.
And all this as the Red Cross is now preparing for possible evacuations that could take place here in the Tri-Cities. 7 shelters are already open along the I-5 corridor. The Kennewick chapter has trailers stocked with cots, blankets, and supplies ready to deploy to Walla Walla, Benton City, or West Richland if needed. They say shelters usually operate short-term during flood events, but anyone in flood-prone areas should have a go kit and be ready to leave quickly.
Ben Franklin Transit employees are calling for accountability after raising new concerns about their CEO, Thomas Drotz. At yesterday's board meeting, workers described what they call a toxic environment, alleging retaliation is common and complaints are ignored. Apple Valley News Now obtained an email from the agency's CFO, which was written after his resignation in October. In it, Alex Smith accuses the CEO of making questionable financial decisions, including awarding contracts to friends and family. Employees say say the problems come from the top, and they're urging the board to take action. And we'll have more on this tonight at 5 and 6.
And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Angelbrook Farm Christmas Tree Jubilee is back at the Benton Franklin Fairgrounds, bringing one of the largest selections of Pacific Northwest trees to the region. Along with fresh cut firs and pines, the event features holiday workshops, games, treats, and of course, a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. They will be there throughout the season. Organizers say this has become a family tradition for a lot of people in the Tri-Cities. Jubilee runs until December 23rd. Still have plenty of time to get out, get a tree, and build some holiday memories.
Turning now to your national headlines this morning, the man accused of murdering political activist Charlie Kirk appeared in a Utah courtroom yesterday. Tyler Robinson is facing several charges, including aggravated murder and felony use of a firearm. He has yet to enter a plea. The 22-year-old surrendered to authorities one day after the fatal shooting on the campus of Utah Valley University back on September 10th. Thursday's hearing was focused on matters including public accessibility to the case. Kirk's widow, Erica, has called for the case to be open to the public in order to lessen potential conspiracy theories about the incident.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. Disney is investing $1 billion in OpenAI and licensing its characters for Sora, the AI company's video generation platform. Disney's equity stake in OpenAI is the first major licensing agreement for Sora. Users of the short-form video-generating social media network will be able to make videos using more than 200 Disney animated characters, and that include characters like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Cinderella, animated characters from Marvel, and Lucasfilms like Yoda are all also included.
In your health headlines, changes may be coming to the products that help protect people from the sun's rays. The FDA is proposing the use of benmetrozonol in sunscreens, and this chemical, which combats ultraviolet A and B rays, is commonly used in sunscreen in other parts of the world. That includes Europe and Australia, and the FDA is seeking public comments on the matter, and officials say they'll conduct a safety assessment before making a final decision on the issue.
5:55 in your sports headlines this morning. Just yesterday, NASCAR reached a settlement in an antitrust lawsuit with Michael Jordan's 23XI Racing and Front Row Motorsports. Both teams secured what they wanted from the start: permanent characters, NASCAR's version of franchises. The lawsuit centered on NASCAR's refusal to grant permanent charters and stalled revenue sharing talks. Financial terms of the settlement won't be released, but NASCAR confirmed charters will now be permanent.
Trending now this morning, Time Magazine has named the Architects of AI as its Person of the Year.
Officials at Time say 2025 was when artificial intelligence became a part of everyday life, affecting everything from the economy to schooling. So the edition of the magazine will have two covers. One will have the letters under construction, while the second features tech titans, including Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
Ironically, Time's announcement on Architects of AI came on the same day when the AI industry suffered massive losses in pre-market trading. Time Magazine's annual tradition of naming a Person of the Year started in 1927.
So this might be the first time it's People of the Year.
Yeah.
It's multiple, yeah. All the architects. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't really like it, but it's cool. I love AI, but
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
I want that
it's
person.
Like, hey, name one. Pick one of them.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a participation trophy. Come on.
Right, everyone gets in.
Yeah.
All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, WSU Tri-Cities is expanding its Cougar Tracks lineup with new hands-on workshops for 2026. We're going to take a look at the new professional courses that are coming to WSU.
Plus, a big upgrade for bikers. Kennewick's new pump track is officially open and already drawing a crowd. Well, the sneak peek at that coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking besides everything?
You hit the nail on the head. It's every day. No, we got flooding. We got maybe a big time snow event for next week, but sandwich in between that, kind of some nice weather for the weekend. So we'll talk about it all coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.